Hello everyone, welcome to the Old Man and the Read. My name is Jerry. Today I'm going to talk about another of the Nobel Prize winning authors I've read, Naguib Mahfouz. Mahfouz was an Egyptian writer and he won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1988. He was born in 1911 and died in 2006. But he was extremely prolific. He wrote like 35 novels and hundreds of short stories. So I've only read I've read a few books, but not nearly all of them. And all of his novels take place in Egypt. So I'll show you the books I've read. The first is a book that was published in 1945, and this is Khan al-Kalali. And it basically is about a man who has delusional images of himself as a superior intellectual. But he's failed in all of his pursuits of any vocation in that as an intellectual. And at 40 years of age, he's still living at home with his parents. He has a complete fear of women, and so he's never able to get into any relationship. The next book was published in 1947. This is Middick Alley, and this book features just a large number of just really well-developed characters that takes place during World War II and is all around a back street in Cairo. But he features just a numerous number of characters in it, and a couple of examples is a doctor who operates on beggars to make them uglier so they can be more successful in their begging, and another about a dentist who gets his gold teeth by robbing graves. The next book I have, published in 1956, titled Palace Walk, and this is the first of a trilogy of books that feature just a very tyrannical man named Abni al-Jawad, and he lives in Cairo. But he belongs to an ultra-conservative Muslim sect, and his wife and children must even ask permission in order to speak to him. But the great thing about the book is Mahfouz just transports the reader into the early 1900s Cairo, just with his magnificent descriptive prose. The next book, published in 1957, is Sugar Street, and this is actually the third of the trilogy. I haven't read the second book in the trilogy, but it again features Abd al-Jawad. But in this, he is now enfeebled, and it's basically about how he has lived a life of hypocrisy, espousing a piety for God at home, but then living a life of debauchery outside of it. In 1959, he published Children of the Alley, and this is just an absolutely brilliant allegory of the history of the Abrahamic religions. It's about a man named Gebalawi and his children. And each of the children represents a prophet from the Abrahamic religions, including Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. But Gabalawi is the patriarch of an estate at the end of an alley, and the story actually goes through several generations. The book was actually banned in several Islamic countries because of it was considered blasphemy. In 1961, he published The Thief and the Dogs, and this is about a man, Said Mahran. He's released from prison after several years and seeks revenge against those he blames for his own failures. Included among these are the man who married his ex-wife and a former friend who has become wealthy. Just a magnificent portrayal of an angry and disturbed man. In 1975, he published Fountain and Tomb, and this is just a whole bunch of very short little stories, mostly maybe 1 or 2 pages long, and they all seem to be based on people living in a Cairo alley in the 1920s. There's a whole variety of characters, from zealots to gangsters and drunks to just ordinary people, and it tells about little episodes in each of their lives. They're just really very short little stories, but actually seem to be complete stories. In 1983, he published The Journey of Ibn Fatuma. It's just an excellent story of a man who travels through several different lands and faces hardship as well as pleasures with a variety of religions and customs. In 1985, he published Akhenaten, Dweller in Truth, and this is a fictional telling of the heretic king. When he attains the throne, Akhenaten turns to Aten, the sun god, and becomes a monotheist, and he prohibits religious pluralism and throws out the priests. But great portrayal of really kind of a very fascinating character, Akhenaten. And the last book I have, published in 2002, Voices from the Other World, and this is basically 5 short stories. The first, Evil Adored, and this takes place before the first king ruled in Egypt, and it's about a strange man who came to a place called Kenum. The next story is King Asarkaf, Forgiveness, and this is about a pharaoh who questions his people's loyalty and love for him, and so he tests it. The next is The Mummy Awakens, and this is about a pharaoh who awakens when his tomb is disturbed. The next is titled The Return of Sinu, and this is Prince Sinu has returned after disappearing 40 years before. And then the last story is A Voice from the Other World, and This is about a writer named Twati, and he's become ill and dies, and he watches himself dying, and then sees the people weeping over him, and then watches as his body is cut open and his organs are extracted. But those are the books I've read by Naguib Mahfouz. Just really a brilliant writer, and wrote some really interesting stories. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again on another video. Thanks.